and look at all of you. This is really awesome to see everyone here. So I'm going to be talking to you today about the dreaded drama triangle and the comparison trap. Hi, I'm Thea. So my name is Thea. I'm from Franklin, Massachusetts. I started LuLaRoe in April of 2015, and then I became a coach in July of 2016. During most of that time, I was working full-time as a histocompatibility specialist. So I worked in a laboratory where we matched recipients and donors for solid organ and for bone marrow transplants. And I did that for 13 years, and it was amazing. It was a really fulfilling job. I really liked it. I commuted a ton because I used to drive into Boston. And then in December 29th of this year, I left, and I am now full-time LuLaRoe. I'm really excited about it, and it's been really awesome these past 2-3 weeks. All right, so this is my family. That's my husband, Al. Al is my biggest helper. He's my business partner. I would say he is my coach. And then I have my 2 sons. Christopher is the little one. He is the boss of the house. He's 3.5, and he will tell you anything. And Owen is 6. He's in kindergarten, and he's just really a good sweetie. And he's always like, people come over, they're like, did they not get leggings? My mom has leggings. So he's really funny. He'll stand on the fireplace and be like, we have really nice dresses here. You should look at them. So that's my family. All right, so oftentimes when we're talking about LuLaRoe, when we're on those home office calls, we're talking about victims and creators. And I think it's really important to know what that actually means. When they're saying, don't be a victim or be a creator, what does that even mean? So that comes from this thing that we talk about, the dreaded drama triangle. It's where victims come from. And a creator is from the power of TED, and TED stands for the empowerment dynamic. And I think it's really important to know what TED means, because just saying TED doesn't really mean anything. So it means to be empowered. We're gonna get into this a lot. So the dreaded drama triangle, that comes from a place of blame. When you're coming from a place of blame, when you have a need to feel right all the time, and when you have fear. That's where this drama triangle comes from. So often, when we're talking about the dreaded drama triangle, or the DDT, we talk about the 3 different players in this. There's always a rescuer, a persecutor, and the victim. But since I am a boy mom, we're gonna change the words a little bit in the terms that I hear all the time, because Iron Man and Hulk are supreme in my house. So we are gonna talk about the rescuer as a superhero. The persecutor is the villain, and the victim is, well, they're still the victim. The superhero. So the superhero is there to give you temporary relief. And the key word is temporary. They're only helping you for a temporary time. They don't face, and they do not look at the core issue. So there's someone who'll tell you, it'll be okay, don't worry about it. I'll do it for you. They'll do things for you. They seek value by being needed by others. So there's someone, if you're really hungry, they'll give you a sandwich, but they'll never teach you how to fish so that you could eat for the next time. So an example of a superhero is my brother. So when we were little, we got Nintendo, and everyone's loving Nintendo. We used to play Mario all the time. And I was really bad at the castle. And as soon as he heard that castle music, he would run in. I don't even know where he was in the house. He'd end up in front of the TV, take the controller from me, and be like, boom, 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 and he would kill Bowser every single time and be like, all right, now you can go to the swimming moon. And to this day, I don't know how to do it, because he was my superhero. He came in and he took that over. So that is something to look out for when you are being someone that just needs to be needed by others. It's not necessarily a positive thing, because you're not giving someone the opportunity to grow. The next person is the villain. So the villain often blames everything. So you can be 3 types of villains. So you can be a villain to yourself, you can be a villain to others, and you can be a villain to a group. When you're being a villain to yourself, you say things like, I shouldn't have, or I should have. I should have planned better for that pop-up. Oh, if I did something different, the outcome would have been different. When you're being a villain to someone else, you're blaming them. It's your fault. It's totally your fault because you were talking to me yesterday and I didn't get on to build in time and I totally missed out on those Valentine's Day leggings. Why did you talk to me? And then for the group, when you're being a villain towards a group, You say that they messed up things for everybody and that they just don't get it. And finally, the victim. So the victim is reacting to things that are happening around them. Everything affects them. They are at the effect of a person, a circumstance, a condition is doing something to them. I really wish we would have had a better day out today, but it was gray, so not that many people could come out to this main event. Is that really true? No. That person is coming from a place of feeling completely powerless. Everything is happening to them, and they have no power to change their circumstances. So that is what it means to be a victim. So let me just come up with another example. So let's see, capsules. Capsules are great for being victims about, right? So let's think about something coming up in the future. 4th of July is coming, and there'll probably be a capsule, and some people probably won't get what they want. But that is not going to end your business. A victim's going to say, you know, my business could have been a lot better this summer if I had those TC leggings. But they're totally forgetting about the fact that they had the Nicoles, they had Carly's, they had other things to change their perspective. So, when we talk about the empowerment dynamic, so this is the power of Ted. The victim now becomes a creator. The superhero becomes the coach, and the villain becomes a challenger. So, like we talked about with the creator, when we were talking about the victim, is that they have the power to change however their situation is. They have the power to be like, you know what, I'm gonna make my own capsule. I'm gonna look what I have, and I'm gonna make my situation different. I'm gonna go out and I'm going to make my pop-ups this way because I'm gonna use that 72-hour game plan. They're not gonna wait for people to come to them. They're gonna create their situation and make it positive for them. The challenger is someone who says, let's say, like LuLaRoe could be your challenger. You wanna get on that cruise? This is what you have to do. This is your challenge. Can you make it? That's what the challenger does. And the coach tells you that you can do it. They know that you have the power to be a creator. And the one thing I liked about this particular diagram is it wasn't in the triangle, because I really believe that these different people, the coach, the challenger, and the creator, are all really fluid. You can be the coach for yourself and look in the mirror and say, I am good enough, I am smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. You can tell yourself that and say, I can come up today and I can sell LuLaRoe. I can do whatever I need to do because I can create that. The challenger, you can challenge yourself. I'm going to go on that cruise. And the creator, you make that opportunity. I don't know if any of you have ever had a personal, what do they call it? Personal workout person. How come I can't come up with that name? Personal trainer. I've had one. Clearly, I haven't been there in a while. But that person is both a coach and a challenger. They totally know that you could do another rep. They know that, and they challenge you to do it. So just keep that in mind, that you can be all these things together. All right, moving on. The comparison trap. So I can't talk about the comparison trap without talking about my favorite comparison trap quote by Theodore Roosevelt. And it is, comparison is the thief of joy. And I think that's the most important thing to remember, that it will take away your joy. So, my story for comparison. When I started LuLaRoe, there weren't that many people that did it. And I had the great, when I started, I was all excited. I'm gonna tell everyone I'm gonna do LuLaRoe, and I was ready to do my first pop-up, and I thought, I'll do a little Facebook sale first. And this other girl who lives 15 minutes down the road did one the same day, and I was like, oh my God, what do I do? We must know all the same people. So I did my little sale, and I was nervous, and Al was like, oh, you got this, you got it. Like I said, he's my coach and cheerleader. You got this, you got this. And I was nervous to go on Facebook. It was so weird. So I posted my things, and people were asking questions, and I couldn't believe how much work it was. And he kept coming down, he's like, someone said sold. I'm like, I saw. And we were getting all excited, yay. And then when it was all done, Facebook notifications kept going, and I was like, let me see what's happening in the other page. We were all excited about, I think we sold like 10 things or something. My friends, once you know the colors, I am green, so a lot of my friends are green, and they're very skeptical. And they will look at things and they're like, oh, we'll see what you're doing, but I want to come over and try it on. So I wasn't like I was going to sell tons of stuff. So I sold my 10 things, and we were like, yeah. And he's like, oh, you're coming up? Like, I'm going to pull some of it, so I'm not too busy tomorrow, because 10 things seem like a lot. And then he came down later, and he's like, how come you're not up yet? how long did it take to pull that? And I was there, and I was so sad. I had tears, and he was like, why are you crying? I was like, she sold like 40 things. And I let that take away the joy that I had that I was doing something. And every week, I got a little bit better. My sales would get a little bit better, and then in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, let me see what she's doing. And I'm like, ah. So don't let that happen to you. So what I ended up doing, I tried to put the blinders on and run my own race and decide, okay, I'm only gonna look at me. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. But every once in a while, I kind of peek and then feel sad again. So what I had to literally and figuratively do is leave all those Facebook groups. I didn't need to see what anyone else was doing anymore. And once I did that, I found that I was a whole lot more happy. I was happier. I was a lot happier. I could sell more things. My business got better. People were joining my team. And I think that the happiness inside of me started to show out, that I was enjoying what I was doing, and it no longer mattered what anyone else was doing. I didn't know what a unicorn was because I didn't see anyone else's page. So when someone asked me something, oh, what do you have? What's the hot thing? I'm like, this isn't your size, not my size, and I want it, so you should get it. And everyone would be really excited about the same stuff. And it didn't matter what it was. It's like, oh, I didn't see that anywhere else. Like, well, you got the only one, come and get it. So you can get really excited about your things and the joy within you if you forget comparison. So the little points I want to say is run your own race. Never compare your beginning to someone else's middle. So that's something that I did with that girl. I was like, we started the same day, but you know what? I don't know the same people. I didn't work in the same industry as her. We didn't have the same friends. All we did was live 15 minutes apart. So we're totally different. We're coming up from a totally different place. I don't know what work she did before she started to make sure she had a huge group, or who she knew. Did she have more LuLaRoe than me? I only had a maxi skirt, so how much was I really showing people ahead of time? You know, so these are things to think about. Happiness is found when you stop comparing. And the last thing that I think is big is comparison kills your creativity. Stop comparing and start creating. If I continue to look at someone else, I'm always gonna be playing catch up. Like, oh, well, they did it that way, I should probably do it that way. But that's not really me. I had to come up with like my quirky Thea things that I do, that someone else would do it and be like, this is really lame. She's really lame. Why am I doing that? But find your own voice. And just like we talked about earlier, people are attracted to this because they know who you are and they want to be with you. They want to shop from you because you're the only Brighty that there is, you know? They want to be with you. So don't compare and stop and start creating. So the next thing I have, hope it works. I have a little video that Brighty actually posted, but I want to play for you. And then we'll talk about it after. Hopefully I can get it to work.
Oh, you know, it's probably silence because I can't stand
Okay, sorry. Wait. How do we make it?
Let me see. Hang on. Hang on. Here.
I have Apple products. I don't know how to use these anymore. Oh. I hope you can hear it. I'll put the microphone nearby.
Good afternoon, everyone. We all have this one life to live. A fleeting shadow amongst all that exists in this vast universe. We have the ability to accomplish anything, truly anything, if we use our time wisely. Is this jar full? And is it full now? And how about now? Is the jar full now? Now, I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. Golf balls are the important things, your family, your friends, your health, and your passions. The pebbles are the other important things, your car, your job, your home. The sand is everything else. It's just the small stuff. Now, if you put the sand in the jar first, you won't have room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same is true in life. If you spend all your energy and your time on the small stuff, you won't have time for all the really important things that matter to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Take care of the golf balls first, the really important things. Set your priorities, because everything else is just sand. Yes?
Professor, what does the beer represent?
I'm glad you asked. It goes to show that no matter how full your life may seem to be, there's always room for a couple of beers with a friend.
Okay, so the professor in here already explained to us what the golf balls are. They basically are why, right? These are the things that drive you, why you get up in the morning, why you do what you do. It's important to always remember those. So those are your family. Like for me, that's my family. I find it really important to spend quality time with them, go on vacations. These are things that are really important to me. So the golf balls or whatever is very important to you. The rocks, to me, are LuLaRoe. Those are the extra things that help you to get to where you need to go to achieve your why. If I put the rocks in first, I wouldn't really be doing what I wanted to do. If I really just wanted to sell clothes, I would have just gone to the mall. I'm doing this for a bigger purpose, right? And then the sand is all that extra stuff, just like you said, all the extra things. Some of that is the comparison. Some of that is the extra things that you have to sacrifice in order to achieve what you need to achieve for your why. Those are the extras. And I think that's really important. But the one thing he doesn't really talk about, he talks about the beer with friends, or it could be a Coke for you, or water for me, a vanilla chai iced latte. But I think that's one of the most important things in here, is when they talk about that drink that they pour in. And anyone who has kids or has lived life knows that if you spill some water or a cup of something, it goes everywhere. If you have paper on the table, it's going to go on the paper, it's going to get in between the rungs of the table, it gets everywhere in the rug. And that's one thing that you notice when they pour that beer in there, is that water went through everything. It went through the sand, it's around the golf balls that are your why, it's everything. So I think it's very important to always remember to stay around positive people, because that becomes you. They say that misery loves company, and I don't really believe that. I don't think misery likes anything. I think that if you surround yourself with miserable people, you become miserable too, because all you're talking about is things that bring you down and all the negative things in life. So stay around positive people, which is the one thing that I think I needed the most out of LuLaRoe. I needed these friendships. I needed people that had the same goals as me to get to where I needed to go to be able to achieve my whys. And I think that's why we have all these events. We have conventions, we have these Super Saturdays, leaderships, and it's all great to learn all the stuff that we're learning and how to do the 72-hour game plan and all that stuff. That's very important. But I think the most important thing is to make these connections in this room. Become friends with whoever you're sitting with. Make them your accountability partner. Let them lift you up so that you can reach your dreams. So that's all I have today. Thank you so much.